Hello, my love.
Hello, my love.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Did you ever think you'd be here?
Inspired by you? No way.
But you're excited about it, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You know how in depth it'll be. You'll be scraping through the layers of, I always described you as an onion, lots of layers. So we'll try and peel back a few today, shall we? You've now been involved with Magic Millions for 10 years.
Yes, I'm expecting a diamond, guys.
Well, no, I don't think anyone in here is buying it. Katie, are you listening?
Katie, no, I'm just...
What was it like first getting involved and meeting Katie and trying to understand her vision?
I think at the beginning, I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it? She's tells you what she wants to do, and you're along for the ride, and you go with her, and now look at it. For me, to be involved in horses, to come to Australia once a year, to come and do that, I was like, yeah, I'm in. I'll help you. Whatever you want to do, and it's been incredible. Like her initiative is just grown and grown and grown, and it's such a special family now that she's created. And it's all it's all about the horse. It's all about my passion, everyone else's passion who's out here, within the sales and the race day. And now she's expanded that to the polo and the show jumping, and the thoroughbred is massive through all our disciplines. It's polo, jumping, cross country. It's been incredible to see the growth, the amazing, the Racing Women initiative is incredible, and I really feel doing it here that it needs to be happening all over the world and at home as well. Hope we can push it globally as well.
How many similarities do you see between you and Katie's character? I see lots between me and Jerry, but. Well, I mean,
your dress sense is not the same.
Is that why you get on? You're both unbelievably driven. You both just love the horse. Is that what made it such an easy partnership for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's very hard to say no to. I think her ideas, her business mind, her mind anyway, is incredible, and her business mind of when she sets her mind to something, she knows exactly how she wants it to play out, and it happens, and she makes it happen. She's got incredible team around her as well, which she would definitely say, and obviously the support of Jerry is key to the whole thing. Which it is. I mean, he absolutely loves his horses. As we know, he's got a lot of them, which I'm not sure Katie knows the full number. She just absolutely loves it. She loves this week, but she also wants it to be exactly how she's imagined it, and she manages to do it. I think that's what I kind of envy her on, is that when she has her ideas, she executes it to the letter, whereas I think sometimes if I have an idea and it kind of it's kind of there, but it doesn't quite happen quite how you plan it.
She seems to have just been able to make it a showcase. Like, no sales anywhere else in the world is the event that the Magic Millions sales week, is it? She's
just made it a important date in one of the most important dates in the racing calendar around the world. All the Europeans and globally the people who come here to buy horses, to be a part of the whole week. It really is a showcase for the world.
Do you have a favourite part of the Magic Millions?
I did have an amazingly fun day yesterday. I do love playing polo. It's an amazing game, and we don't really do it justice. The barrier draw for me is the kind that is Gold Coast Magic Millions for me. The setting, being able to ride down the beach, the drawing the stalls for the race, for the 2-year-old and 3-year-old race at the end of the week. That's probably one of my favourite days as well.
What do you, if you look at it from a sort of worldwide perspective, how much has Katie and Jerry done for horse racing?
Oh, massive amount. I mean, I think the people that they bring together, the different sports they're involved in, they're even involved with Gatka, which, couldn't run without them, couldn't run without their support. All disciplines are reaping the benefits of their support and their passion and their love for the horses.
And do you think Katie's really sort of trying to trailblaze the promotion of women in sport, whether it be owners, riders, trainers?
She loves all of that. And any female being successful is her true passion, I think, in life. And she just loves it. She's, jockeys, whether it's a jockey, a trainer, or owners, or the girls leading the horses up. She absolutely loves it, and just that, I think, makes her happy, makes her tick.
What's your first memory of horses in your life? Do you have a vivid one?
I would say, just generally, I remember being around horses when I was young, and ponies, and we were really lucky. My mother and father were riding, so it was very much their career at the time, and we were kind of do a lot of stuff at home with them, lots of quality time on the horses and with the ponies and in the yard. And I think if we weren't in the house, we were up in the yard, looking after them, just learning about them. And really lucky, we had a little Shetland pony called Smokey to start off on, and I think he went through the whole family as well. He was cool. I think Pete said he was a little shit, but I don't remember him being like that.
Horse or you?
Yeah. But I remember going to shows. I remember being in the truck. I remember an occasion when we were at an event, and I think we were in the car and we were following around the cross country. I can't remember who was on the course. It could have been my dad. I remember opening the door and getting shouted at because the car was moving, stuff like that. I remember when my dad had finished eventing, I remember him he used to come home and just let all the horses off the truck, and they'd all just go in the fields, and it would drive Debbie, who was his head girl at the time, absolutely mad because he was just didn't pay any attention to, he was just a joker, and poor Deb was pulling her hair out.
Do you remember, from watching them compete, did that stoke the fires that you wanted to do that, or was it just grew?
I don't think so. I think I just remember always loving it. I loved the partnership. I loved, I guess, the kind of freedom you get from it, and also the thrill that you get with it. Because I guess, when you're a kid, you love going fast, and you love jumping and being able to do it on your own and all those kind of things. I loved looking after them. I loved being around them and, caring for animals. It was just fun. I remember, little competitions and gymkhanas where you do the pole bending stuff. I do remember a lot of pony club stuff, which is kind of just great fun, and you learn so much about yourself and the ponies, and it was just fun, which is what it's meant to be when you start out. For holidays, I didn't ride at school. There was so much else going on. Just played sport the whole time, loved playing games, hockey, athletics, tennis, swimming. There was just too much going on. I couldn't fit it in.
You've always said to me you could have been a sprinter and a swimmer. Gymnast. Specialising in hurdles, actually, would have been your event.
I used to hurdle. I did use hurdle.
So at what point did you decide, or did you feel, or did you decide...
That wasn't my career.
That maybe that wasn't the path and horses was the path?
I don't think I quite say that. I said I used to be a hurdler.
Let it go.
I don't know. Probably when I left school, I was like, I'll see if I have a go, proper full season, because I was kind of doing a couple of months when I came back from school. So I thought I'll try a full season, see if I'm any good at it. When we kind of got to the point, right, are we going to make a good go of this? We went out and looked for Toytown. I found Toytown, I think after I got back from my gap year. And yeah, found a legend.
Because I've always asked your dad to explain this. How did you find Toytown, and do you ever know he was going to be as good as what he was?
Well, my dad claims he found him, but I think the girl that owned him was on a clinic with my dad with a different horse, and she had told him about Toytown, and he said, "Oh, let me know if you're going to sell him at any point." So he went and tried him, and big sort of 17-hand horse, lanky, not sort of like filled out his frame. He was 7 years old, and I sat on him, and he was like this, just floated. Like, his movement was incredible, and I was just never been on anything like it in my life before. And I was like, wow, like you couldn't have walked away from him. He was incredible, and he had that kind of amazing personality. He was just like, I am amazing. I'm the best. He was a good jumper, but he just was weak to begin with, and it just took a few years for him to get into himself and grow and be strong enough. But we went from the bottom together to the top. We were both learning at the same time.
So he was 7 and you were...
I was 19.
And did he have big wins along the way? Because you sort of, with Toytown, the first big result was probably 03, wasn't it? Coming second at Burley. But were there results showing that rise before that? Yeah,
I think every big 3 day was in the lead. So I did learn a lot of being at the top and then going down, having 4 down and being early disappointment. I would say I already had the competitive streak, but knowing that I could win on this horse, and I think that then drives you even more. And when you've done something well, it then also instills more, to get better, to improve, so that the next time you come out, you can get that bit further. You can get that place higher. You can win. I think it definitely, disappointment drives you much more than if you just win immediately.
Just off the top of my head, do you see the same frustrations in Class Affair at the moment, your current horse? So what?
He's so talented, but his brain is so tricky. I mean, he has got everything. He's a great jumper, he's brave, and he can do a great test. But his brain is the bit that's not good. Whereas Toytown had a great brain. He was go to a competition, he's like, here I am, you've all come to see me. And he would perform. If he didn't have a crowd, he would just mess around and, so that everyone would look at him. But he just loved competition, and he would try his utmost to win as well and to do what he could for you. Whereas this one's Class Affair's not as generous, I don't feel.
Oh, if we talk about 2005 first, that was at Blenheim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the rain. Everyone then said, she's brilliant in the rain. You became a wet weather player, really, didn't you? But how good was it to get that win on that stage, European champion and a team gold medalist? What did that do to your confidence? I think,
become second at Burley was my first. It was 4-star in those days. Big with the big boys, with the seniors, and so that kind of. And then he was injured, but then it kind of put us in team. On the list for the team. So, I knew I had a good horse, and I knew that it was, only going to get better. So to be put on the team is, what your dreams are made of. To ride for your country is incredible. To be picked out of, our country's so strong with eventing. You know, there's so many people who are amazing. So to be there and to ride for your country, and my first senior debut was on home turf, which was unreal. So I was like, right, this is our chance to, you know, prove how good we can be. And yeah, it was incredible. It was the most amazing weekend. People everywhere. Good start, but the cross country, it was just torrential, horrendous rain at cross country. But I think when you've got like situations in front of you like that, like really crap weather and proper, you got to go out and fight. And when you're sat on something that you know inside out and your partnership is absolutely solid, it just proves to you, like, you know, we went around there and inside the time, it's so much easier. You can just fight harder when it's like that.
Can you describe that feeling?
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's magical because you can do everything that you plan to do. Yes, there's always going to be situations where you're like, oh, that kind of didn't go quite. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a round where I'd come back and go, well, that was absolutely perfect, because, you know, every jump I jumped was the way I'd planned to. There's always things thrown at you, and which you've got to deal with. But yeah, I think when you manage to pull it off, you always know you just got to go out and fight. And when you can pull it off, it's magic. It's the best feeling in the world.
What's your favourite discipline of the sport?
I mean, I think you know that I love cross country.
I know.
It's the toughest bit. It's the bravest bit. It's where you see the true partnerships between the horse and rider. That's what you need in every horse. They fight for you. You fight for them. All they want to do is jump the next fence. And he was like that. But he loved it. He did love it.
It wasn't always rosy with Toytown because of the way he moved, he got injuries, missed Olympics. How frustrating is that as an athlete if you're in prime condition and unfortunately the horse that's qualified can't go with you?
I think it's heartbreaking. I remember being heartbroken a lot with him. There was massive highs and massive lows.
You just got a new stallion in your life.
Just met you.
Yeah.
Yes, I had.
Because I remember
you had to fit in with Toytown.
Yeah, I had to share you with Toytown. I was fine with that. But I remember we were out one night and I just played a game, and you know, you just really found out that he couldn't go, and you know, you just had to go home. You couldn't stop thinking about it. It's a real emotional commitment you put into a horse, isn't it? Yeah,
it's every day. Like he's your big hope, your big dream of success. And also for me, like when you sit on a horse like that, you're like, you know, he should have been there. He was the best horse in the world. He should have been there, and he didn't get to go to Olympics. And you know, that's what I'm saddest about, is that, you know, he's one of the best horses in the world and he should have been on that stage fighting for medals, which he would have done. Toytown retired, and then he had High Kingdom come into your life. You went to Olympics. Little Trev. Went to 2012. Trevor Hemmings, my amazing owner, at the time said when London got the Olympics, he's like, let's go and find a horse for London. And I was like, okay. So we went and had a look at some horses, and then a guy that my father knew had bred Trev and said, I've got this horse, you should buy him. I didn't even go, this is so not what you do. I didn't try him, I didn't sit on him, we just bought him. He was like 25 grand, which nowadays you pay so much more money for horses, younger horses. So we bought him. He was a 5-year-old. I got him back and he was like, oh yeah, he's broken. So I got on him and he like soft bronching, and I was like, this is not broken. So we kind of felt like we had to do it all again. And yeah, so we took him from a 5-year-old up to Olympics year, and he'd had a good year the year before. He had won, but he was like top 10 at Semur and top 10 at Burley. So he was consistent, like you could rely on him. He wasn't like Toytown, it wasn't flair and amazing.
Very rarely in first going down, where you were the other way around.
Yeah, he was always, like we always had to fight and work for, like pull ourselves up. But he was so much fun, and we managed to get him to the Olympics, and which was incredible because Trevor Hemmings has won so many amazing things racing in his racing career and Grand Nationals and things like that. But to see his face at the Olympics and to get a team medal was amazing, and to be able to, give something back to him when he'd supported me for so long, it was incredible. I'm going to get emotional.
But I think that sort of sums you up. You always put your owners, you always put your horses first. Sometimes to the detrimental of yourself. You will train a horse before you'll train yourself, and you'll make sure the horse is fine before you do it to yourself. Yeah. Is that just the commitment you have for the love of your horses? I
think a lot of people in the horse sport are like that. They're very much the horse is number one, and to all those people who think that horse sport is cruel, they literally are looked after better than the humans in the sport. They're looked after like any athlete, and any footballer, any Olympic athlete. They're looked after just like that. So we all are much. It's just it's a love, it's a passion, it's a lifestyle, and that's why it's such an incredible sport, such an incredible discipline. We all, much more invested in the horses than ourselves, I guess.
Women's sport is massively expanding, growing. How proud of you are your sport that it's been doing it for 30, 40 years? Men against women, level playing field.
Yeah, I know, but I think we're very lucky we compete, on level playing field. But it is all down to the horse. And it's also like mares and geldings competing against each other. So, but I think it's different because at the end of the day, we're sat on an animal. Whereas, when you've got full teams of women and men, it's a very different dynamic than our sport. But I love the fact that I'm in a sport that is against the boys as well, but I've never really thought about it as well until the last few years when women's sport is now huge and it's doing incredible, and I'm so proud of that, and for them as well, because they're the women that have made it happen as well.
What are the obvious changes do you think that needs to happen in terms of how 3-day eventing is delivered on TV?
Well, I mean, it needs to be more accessible to people that, they don't understand it. The way it's viewed is it doesn't go into depth, like the difficulty of it and the relationships of it. I think it can be televised and marketed in such a better way. But again, I think it's in a bit of a rut in how they move forward, and the governing boards, I think, need to move forward again. Like it needs a change.
From my point of view, it's got everything it needs. It's got unbelievable characters in the game, unbelievable athleticism of what the horse does. What do you reckon?
It's like it is an extreme sport, isn't it?
For sure.
So there's so much you could do to view it better, I feel.
Yeah, in 2012, you married a legend.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Didn't we get married in 2011?
No, sorry, after the... Yes, we did. Shit. In 2011, you married a legend. And then that led to another part of your career, being a mum. So we had Mia in 2014. How much did being a mum change how you thought about riding, and then how much did you immediately want to get back on a horse and get back into it after having her?
I think after having Mia, I was like, right, this is my goal. This is where I need to get back. So I had a good horse to come back to, which is great, like for your confidence, and trying to, so I wanted to get back for him as well. Trying to have a goal to get myself back to is probably something that I always need. I always kind of need goals in my life, and probably set many goals in my life all the time. But it was hard. Like, it's hard getting your body back to, when you've been riding for 30 years or whatever it is, 25 years. And then like your body being just completely not doing that, and your muscles doing nothing and stretching and creating an amazing thing, but it's just completely different. And to try and get your body back to where it was I found hard work. But it was, I think, she was along for the ride as well with us, she was very much taken around to the shows, and which is kind of easier when you have one. I found it hard, getting yourself back to it, but mentally you feel guilty as a mother leaving your child to go and do something else. But also...
Is that just because you didn't trust Dad?
I had to ring you every day to make sure you're doing the right thing.
Leave me a list.
But you do feel guilty. I felt guilty all the time. Even like going to go and ride. And I just thought that's just an aspect of my life now.
How hard has it been? We've been through a 7-year period with kids. Your riding's been on and off. We lost a baby along the way, but you'd had to stop riding before that. So it meant you missed another chunk of time. Did you feel through that period that you were able to give your riding everything that you wanted to give it?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably times I look back on and maybe shouldn't have gone to certain places. But I think also, I was lucky. I'd had Toytown, so and High Kingdom, and I'd been to an Olympics, and I'd won a world, got a silver medal, been to World Championships and won, and been to European Championships and won. The stuff that I missed was down to, another great chapter in my life. And I'm very lucky that I could run them alongside each other. I think I'm lucky that our sport, I could do both and still be able to ride at the top. Has been a massive drive for me, and I think, I'm hoping that it makes me a better mother, because they can experience it with us and with me, and all those characteristics and about life, competitive life, they can hopefully enjoy it as well.
And now that you've gelded your stallion, and you know there's going to be no more children coming down the line.
Yourself. It needed to happen.
What is the drive now? Where do you are there any itches you need to scratch in terms of what you want to do in the horse game going forward? Is there still something that's burning at you?
I mean, I'd love to win Olympic gold. So that's probably driving me at the moment. I'd love to go to another Olympics.
You've been coming to Australia a lot of times.
Yeah.
Has it become sort of a second home?
Yeah, definitely. All the people we've met here and the fun times.
Gained a husband here.
I found my husband here.
Ironically. Best day of your life.
Best day of my life. Yeah, it was. It was a fun day, actually. I had a boozy lunch.
Yeah.
The girls, and then I met you. Finish off the day.
It was about the 13th of November. I know that you'd remember, but
You're just picking dates out to make me look bad, aren't you?
seared into my brain. It's this country has given us a lot. And it's one of the favourite things we look forward to, isn't it? Coming down here every year, because it's what Katie and Jerry have done and made everything fun. So you enjoy coming down here. Yeah, you do some work, but it's...
Yeah, but that's what Australia's about, isn't it? I think they know how to enjoy life, work hard and play hard.
To finish off, we've got to ask one question. And this is the most serious question now.
Obviously, it's going to be about you, isn't it?
Who's the better athlete? We've got to be serious now. You can't just be frivolous and hide behind medals. I mean, they give participation
me and
medals
you?
out. Yeah.
I've got more medals.
Yeah, but they give participation medals out of you. We start getting pen
Gold
medals
medals
out.
are not participation medals. Are they?
No, that's true. I'll give you those two. 4, 6. But I still think it's harder to win a Rugby World Cup than it is.
Do you?
No, it's actually not, because there's so many competitions.
There's 40 other people with you.
Yeah, but then...
You're not controlling an animal,
All right, I'm going to do
which
the right...
has its mind of its own.
Well, if you go through your medals and the fact that you could have made it as a hurdler, a gymnast... I might have
I've
to,
never said that.
I might have to give
You're
it to you.
exaggerating.
I might have to give it to you.
You're
Just
exaggerating.
imagine the medals you left behind.
Polo player. Imagine the
you could have been-
gymnastic medals.
Yeah. You could be in a Dion Sanders. You could be in a dual
I could have won a
sporter.
vaulting medal for sure.
You could have been a dual sporter. Wow. I'm lucky.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you for being so informative. And I've learnt so many things about you today. I did not know.
This is actually the longest time that we've probably sat down and spoken to each other in 9 years.
I know, you're normally a closed book. It's hard.
It's called Children. You're welcome.